Hi there, my name is Button the Source. I am the GM of a guild named Dragonfire. We are currently ranked 67 in the Clash of Worlds. And we are also a top 10 guild on the prestige leaderboards. Yeah, it says 11 right now, but we're in America. Most of our players are in America, and so we rise up later in the day, and we usually get to around 5, 6, 7. We used to get to first in the top 3, but we had a player retire, and man, when someone leaves the guild, you lose all their prestige points, so that hurt us. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video is because we're recruiting, not for Dragonfire just yet, but for our new training guild, developmental guild named Dragon Blood. We've started Dragon Blood because there's always a constant need for new players, for replacement players. And so we need a guild. We want a guild where we can train players, where they can develop, learn the game. I can get to know what you're capable of when you come on to fight. And look, you don't have to be a strong, powerful player to join our developmental guild. Let me tell you a little bit about our history. Yes, we are number 67 in COW, but we're not actually one of those super guilds, super powerful whale guilds, whatever you want to call them. For example, we fought against the number 1 guild on our server a couple of weeks ago, Origin, and actually I'll talk about that later. We lost. We had one of our worst performances. We usually get into the 6,000s against the top guilds, but we just missed. And the reason that we lost is if you look at the hero power, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players that have 7 million plus hero power, while we don't have a single one. We have a couple of guys now in the 6s, and that really helps. But the difference was that Origin could attack with whatever they wanted to attack with, whereas we have to attack with what we have. If you look at our COW roster, you can see we have a lot of players that their heroes are only in the 2s, like myself. I'm only at 2.5. And, look, this is like half our guild, more than half our guild. So everybody else we face, everybody has 3 mil hero power. And we have a few guys at the top, but most of our guild is not that big. So how do we do it? How do we get into the top 100 not being all that powerful? Well, let me tell you a little bit about our history. Back in the day on our server, so I'm looking here in November of 2022, there were a couple of super guilds, League of Legends and Origin. Origin, I mentioned earlier, we see them often in the top 50. League of Legends no longer exists, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But early on, this is like 8 months into the server, our rivals, they both had, max hero armies, max Titan armies. So they had 1 million hero armies, and we had 600, 700k heroes, and they had 800k Titans, and we had 500, 600k Titans. So we were happy just to be able to score 700 against them. You can see here, we only got to 647. The following week, we got to 676. The next week, we got to 725, which means we were able to kill all of their Titans. If you kill all the Titans, you get 700 points, right? So for us, it was a major accomplishment just to get to the point where we could kill all of their Titans. And yeah, we had to pretty much attack every Titan twice in order to kill them. and the following week we scored 749. So as we go, we're killing their titans, and we're learning how to beat their hero armies. Get 1 or 2 wins against their heroes with being with 700k armies going against 1 mil. Now, what people don't realize was that there was an advantage for us to be this small for a while. Here we got 700, because it forced us to learn how to maximize our skills. For example, we had to learn how to play Titans on manual mode. And because we played on manual mode, we could beat Titans that were 100, 200, even 300k bigger than us. And we learned how to, really manipulate heroes to the point where we could get wins over 1 mil hero teams with 700k heroes. For example, with our Titans, we learned to get wins over max dual totem teams with a 678k team against 900, so almost 300k smaller, getting wins. I actually, on YouTube, I actually have a training video on how I did that with this team. So my point in mentioning all of this is that we are not a power guild, we're not a whale guild, we are a skill guild. Haha, my cat just said hi. But it took us 2 years to catch up to the whales and beat them. And this was back in February. So we started in February of 2022, and we finally, in February of 2024, we finally beat League of Legends, who had been the number 1 guild for 2 years. And they not only did we beat them, but they finished 4th, and they collapsed the next week. And we moved into 2nd place. But our reward for finally catching up and beating them was that a handful of their players left the server, but everybody else went to our rivals. And so we got knocked down to 4th or 3rd the following week instead of retaining 2nd. But a few months later, last week actually, we won Gold League for the first time in almost 2.5 years. And with a score of 6,800, we only had 4 losses for the entire week. Still, barely won by only 6 points, but we won Gold League. So we've achieved this through skill and hard work. I mentioned earlier that we are top 10 in prestige. There was a while that we were number 1. So we work hard. And the reason why I'm saying all this is that we're not just going after whales, we're going after hard-working, small, hard-working players who over time can develop and grow and become strong, just like we did, and who will learn to play with skill. This is the sort of player that we're trying to recruit into Dragon Blood. So we have about 14 spots open in this guild. We just started it. We just got into Silver League this week, and I expect we'll be able to get it if our recruiting goes well. Dragon Blood should be able to get to Gold League 6. The 6th place guild on our server is not very strong. The Russian guild here is not very good. So if we can get some decent recruits to come in, then we should be able to get our new guild up into Gold League. And the reason why that's important is just so that that our players there can get the Gold League trophies, so they can upgrade their totems. So it's just a developmental thing. What are we looking for? Well, it'd be nice if players had at least 3 or 4 star totems and 800k hero teams, and works hard. Working hard, being active is very important. I have a retired account. Someone retired and gave me their account, this guy, Rockin' Issue. And so I lead Dragon Blood through this account. So I'll be there with you, training, teaching, leading. And in the future, this is where we hope to find replacements for players that we lose over time. So if you want to get into a top 100 guild and you're willing to work hard, come here, come join us, and get your foot in the door. And once you're ready, we'll promote you up. Now, I think that we're going to fill up quick, so please respond quickly if you're interested, and let's talk. Come join one of the finest guilds in all of Hero Wars. We are destined to reach the top 50, and we're going to get there. And hopefully, we're going to find some players that are going to grow with us and eventually come up and help us. One last thing I should mention is that we have a guild full of brilliant players who are just amazing at the game that you can learn from. Even though we are small in power, we dominate the arenas. So like I said, come join us, come learn to be great, and then help us to become even greater.